Hello there, Taurus. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of January 6th through the 12th. I think I said December on Aries. Let me fix that real quick. Sorry about that. Technical details. Yes, that's right. 6th through the 12th of January. Okay, so anyway, let me get back to shuffling your cards. As I'm doing this, let me remind you all that I do offer private readings either by phone or by Skype, and you can find out how to get one of those by checking out the website at the bottom of this screen. I look forward to reading for some of you here really soon. Okay, so we are doing a little bit different format than usual this week. I want to try something out, see how I like it, since I'm doing the dailies, so I'm not consistent with them yet, but I am doing them more often. So I want to try this and see how this works for our weeklies. Okay, so the first thing that I have coming up for you, Taurus, talks to me about your environment. And your environment is any place where you have energy or effort invested. Usually it's home, sometimes it's work or school. And what I have showing up here is that you are being very business-like about your environment. You're really looking at it from all the aspects of how does this impact my bottom line? How does this impact how efficient I can be in my life and in accomplishing my life purpose? And you're really evaluating how you feel about your environment as far as how functional is it for you, really. Okay? The next thing that we have coming up talks to me about your subconscious leanings. These are kind of the background programs of our mind. They're not always at the surface or conscious, but they do show up every once in a while, and they'll wander back and forth. It does look like you are looking at a subconscious level, Taurus. You're thinking about retirement. How secure is your retirement going to be? What have you got set back for retirement? What are you doing about retirement? Are you setting up residual income to get you through your retirement years? Your subconscious is really working on how to make yourself secure for retirement. Isn't that interesting? Who knows? I mean, I have people of all kinds of ages watch this video, but that came up very specifically as retirement. Next thing we have coming up talks to me about two different things, your learning style and also your communication style. We are going to look at learning style first. And so, it looks to me like you've been learning enough information that you feel like it's kind of beating you up. You've been a little bit overwhelmed by it. So for right now, any new information that comes in is pretty much going to have to smack you in the face. Okay, Taurus, that's just what I've got here. As far as communication, it looks to me like you've kind of communicated until you're blue in the face. You have said everything that you know how to say. You have said it every single way that you can think of to say it. And still, nobody seems to be understanding what you're trying to say. Nobody seems to be hearing your messages. And so there's a lot of frustration. I think that you've kind of given up on saying anything. Like you kind of feel like, what's the point? It's just a waste of my energy. I'm just not even going to communicate anymore, especially about some very specific things. So anyway, that's for this week. The next thing that I have coming up talking about this week talks about work. And I'm weird about work. So you guys, we're going to talk about work two different ways. We're going to talk about that way that you make a living or feel productive in the community, but we're also going to talk about work in the way that you improve yourself to make you happier with who you are. Okay, so as far as work in the community or work that you're paid for, it looks to me like you're not being paid very well for whatever you're doing. So maybe you had a lot of time off over the holidays and it wasn't really being paid at a regular rate or a rate comparable to what you would normally get, or maybe you're just not working right now. But there's something here about, you know, the pentacles here, the payment is just not what you would expect it to be or not enough for this week, okay? It may even be that you don't get any money this week, that your payday is next week. With the way this card came up, that could be what's going on too, is that there's just not a payday this week. You have to wait for your income. Now, as far as inner work, I really feel like, Taurus, your inner work has to do with you want to start feeling more comfortable in more social settings and more social situations. And so your inner work is really to find a way to do that, to actually enjoy more social situations. It seems like the holidays kind of brought that out, that you're not as comfortable as you would like to be in situations with a lot of people around you. And so now you are looking for, okay, well, how can I make those situations more enjoyable? Okay. The next thing that we have coming up talks to me about those things that you stand for. Or excuse me, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is talking about the area in which you're being grown during this particular week. And so what we've got going on is that there are certain things that you felt like were draining you and were leaving you feel depleted, that you had moved away from. And now we see you, for whatever reason, going back to those situations this week. And so I think that you're kind of realizing that even though you know those situations that you're going back to aren't the best for you, you're not quite ready to go without having those situations as a part of your everyday life just yet. I do feel like that's building up. There will be a time when you are ready, but you're not ready just yet. Okay? The next thing is those things that you stand for. This, to me, talks about one of two things. I'm feeling around here to see which way it applies for you guys. I think that right now, Taurus, you have a big focus on loosening up your budget. It feels to me like your budget is really tight, really constraining you. And so you have a focus on, okay, what can I do to either bring in more money, or what can I do to decrease the amount of cash flow going out? Now, the next thing that I'm looking at is how other people perceive you. Excuse me. They see you as somebody who has plenty of resources, plenty of assets, and they see you as somebody who is willing to share them freely with others. So where you're feeling like your budget is too tight, other people aren't so much seeing that. They're seeing you as having plenty and being very gracious with the plenty that you have. Okay, so then the next thing that I'm looking at is basically towards the end of the week. What we have is we see you giving gifts. We see you literally giving gifts. So if you're worried about the budget, some of your actions are not necessarily lining up with that worry that you have, okay, or that thing that you're standing for, which is loosening up the budget. So we do see you, though, giving gifts more towards the end of the week. We also see a lot of confusion coming in here as you're giving these gifts. So there may be some confusion about what's the best gift. Is it even a good idea to give gifts? Will this other person appreciate the gifts? But there's a lot of confusion here. And I think that you're giving this gift in a way to sort of let bygones be bygones. It may even be some type of peace offering that you're offering somebody, trying to bring calmer waters and calmer emotions back into the relationship, whether it's a friendship, a family thing, or whatever. But this does definitely have the feeling of some kind of peace offering. And it looks like this peace offering is successful because it does bring in some forgiveness. So there may be some communication whenever you give this gift, this peace offering. There could be some communication so you guys, both parties, you and the other person, understand each other better and understand more where each of you is coming from, and you guys are both feeling better about each other and not holding grudges anymore. Okay, so that's what we have coming up for you, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. If this is helpful for you, please like this video. Also share this video. That does help my channel. I appreciate that so much. And those of you who want a reading, you want me to look deeper into any of this, or you have something else you would like clarity on, please get a hold of me. I would be honored to be your reader. And I will talk to you soon. If I don't see you for a private reading, I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.